Good evening and welcome to Australian Story. I'm Steve Perry. There have been many epic struggles in the path of humankind, but not quite such a struggle as epic as one boy's search for himself. This is that story.
My life started normally on the 8th of June, 1990. But that was going to change. In 1992, my family was torn apart. And I was left in a household with two women, my sister Elizabeth and my mother. My schooling career started at Chislehurst, where I did most things a preschooler did, but with a little bit more flair than a 5-year-old. Then it was primary school at St Thomas More's. From the moment I walked at St Thomas More's, it felt like home. I loved St Thomas More's. It was great, and everyone loved me. At primary school I tried all the sports, from soccer to rugby union, to softball, to swimming, but it never felt right. It never felt like me. But that was going to change.
He was about 3, and he used to perform light shows, music shows, dance. I thought he might have some talent. At 5, he was taken to a speech and drama teacher.
So at the age of 5, I was sent to a speech and drama teacher.
When Mari rang me and asked me to teach Christopher and told me about his movie productions in the lounge room, I was a little hesitant about starting to teach a 5-year-old. However, when Christopher came to my house and performed for me and began to do his Eisteddfod work, I saw immediately that he had talent, and I have proven to be correct.
So speech dulled my appetite for a while, but by the age of 9, I was wanting more. I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I wanted more. I used to sit in front of the TV and watch the old musical movies, from The Wizard of Oz, to Sing in the Rain, to all the Fred Astaire movies. And that's when I knew what I wanted. I wanted that. So I went out to find it. Just to dance like them. I wanted to sing like them too. So I went from singing in the shower to singing in a studio.
I first started teaching Chris when he was 9 and has been a marvellous singing student over the years. He has such a flair for the stage, and I believe he will become a name to remember in the future. He so inspired me as a youngster that I actually wrote a musical all about him and his desire to be on stage.
I can tell you right now that this didn't go down very well with my dad. My dad was, well, the football type, and I wasn't. Like, I have to say, I tried the swimming and the soccer and every type of sport I can imagine, but it never felt me. So, I started local productions, and that was when my career started to bloom in Tormouth Theatre. But I still felt different. Why did I feel so different? I was doing what I wanted, what I loved. Why did I feel different? But in 2003, that was going to change. In 2003, I attended my first week-long Australian Acting Academy camp. Now, I'd been at the academy for about 2 years now, but I'd never gone to a camp because I didn't have the guts. But I bit the bullet and I went. It was the most amazing experience of my life. And at that camp, they'd shone a light through me. And they'd shown to me that I was different. Yes, different, but different in a good way. The moment I stepped off that bus, I'd changed. Not on the outside, but on the inside. The people at the camp had shown to me that I was a proud...
This is a different kind of love song, dedicated to everyone. Different kind of love song. Whoa.
Now, I can tell you, it wasn't easy. I guess I always knew. Really. How many straight men do you know that know pretty much every lyric to every musical in the last 100 years? Or know all the names of all the designers and chiefs for pretty much every fashion house in the world? Or have a monthly prescription to Vogue magazine? I guess I always knew. I just never wanted to admit it to myself.
I've known Chris for a long time now, and he's a beautiful person. He has a beautiful personality. He's very flamboyant, very passionate, very edgy and wild. Chris is just an amazing person, and he has struggled on several occasions with issues at school and socially, and not being accepted for who he is, not being accepted for his outlandish personality, and he has to hide it a lot of the time, and I find it really quite sad being his best friend, being in situations where he has to control himself and hide his personality and not show his true person.
In the early years, school was really hard for me. From the first day I walked through the gates at Toowoomba Grammar School, it wasn't just in the schoolyard. It was downtown too. I can remember feeling sick just going to school most days, because I didn't want to face it. I remember I used to make up girlfriends just to tell people, just so they would think differently. Although I'd come to this conclusion in myself, I didn't want to tell everyone. I didn't want to flaunt it. That's just the person I am. I don't show people what's really going inside of me. I bottle it up.
It really hurts me when Chris gets picked on at school for being different. It's what makes him different that makes him unique. Anything Chris ever wants, I'll always be there for him.
I've known Chris for, since about year one, I think. That's about 12 years of my life. 12 fantastic years, I might add. Been a very special part of my life, Chris has. I'd just like to say, though, I get quite disappointed. It can hurt me quite deeply when people tease Chris, make fun of Chris. Chris is a very special boy, and we love him dearly. To all you people out there who take the opportunity to tease and all that sort of stuff, you're going down, guys. It's all over.
But now I'm happy with the person I am, the person I have become. I don't need to hide anymore. I'm happy with who I am. So from this day forward, I'm not going to hide behind a stage curtain. I'm going to be in front of it.
I am my own special creation. So come take a look, give me the hook or the ovation.